Hello, this is Steven Seifert. Welcome to Steve Teaches Steve a Tune. I'm going to teach myself a tune tonight, and I want to know what you guys want to hear. But I've got an idea for this week also. There's an Irish tune. My friend Jan Pulsford said she might be working on a version of Sally Garden in the studio over in England, and I think, wow, maybe I ought to learn that a little better. I think I might have played along with it before, but anyway, how y'all doing? I've got some new stuff going on. I'm getting ready for this theory class coming up, and I'll show you a little bit what's going on. Hey, Jamie, thanks for chiming in. Let's see. Look at this. So the idea with the theory is I can show somebody. I'll just show you this real quick. I'm going to draw on the screen here. For instance, I could show you a major scale on the piano: D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And then I could show you where that same thing is on the chromatic dulcimer. A, B, C sharp, D. Where is that? And the same thing on the mountain dulcimer. Why don't we, the regular one at the bottom, why don't we use the chromatic more often? Too many wrong notes. So anyway, I'm gearing up for that. If you're interested in that class, you can read all about it on stevenseifert.com. Just look for the link that says A to Z classes, and you'll see the theory course. I think it should be fun. And that's all on the commercial. So Sally Garden. I'm intrigued with that one. I want to see if you guys have any other ideas. Yeah, I'm excited, Jamie. Looking forward to it. Hello, Jan. And Jesse, hello. Yeah, I thought I'd just do a little bit of that. I'm getting some crackling audio. So I think I might be pushing this computer to the max. It's a good computer, but apparently, you can only do so much. So anybody watching, have you guys wondered about any tunes on the dulcimer? Go ahead and type it in, and we can always consider it. For me, I think about a set list where I should have a bluesy number, an Irish set or so, maybe an Irish medley, a good jam medley, a country classic, maybe a 80s synth pop tune. I like thinking that way. I like pulling things from different traditions, maybe a jazz tune, some rock and roll, little Van Halen, maybe. I don't know. Jamie says, I've never seen anyone do Elton John. Like that's why they call it the blues. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I get lost. That would be a good one. And I thought Yellow Brick Road would be good before. I think some Elton John would be cool. Sarah says, "Hi, Stephen. Will this be replayed?" I think it's saving them. I think after I do these, they get saved. The first few, I'm not sure if they're on here. I think they're all on here. Maybe you just got to dig around and find them on my channel. Hello, Cynthia. I'll give you guys just another minute if you got an idea for a tune. Elton John. And listen, it can be a folk tune, you know, mostly. Country classics. Doesn't anybody like Merle Haggard? It's another Elton John. You know, I got to do Rocket Man. Yeah, I don't know that one either, but that might be good. Thank you, Jamie. I'll think about that. All right. Well, let's look into this Sally Garden. So you're in my workshop. I'm not giving a workshop, and this is not a performance. It's just me doing my thing. I love learning new tunes, but I don't do it enough. So I want to go ahead and do a little research here. You can do it with me. Let's where is it? There we go. So first of all, Sally Garden. Sally Gardens. One thing I like to do is YouTube. You know, what comes up if you just search for the title. Sally Gardens, that's plural. This one by Mara O'Connell's interesting. And I'm going to encourage you to maybe listen to that one. I'm going to click this. I don't think you're going to hear this. There's an ad. All right, here we go. Okay. So I'm sorry you can't hear that. I've yet to figure out how to do that. Let me look real quick. Let's see. I still don't know how to do that. But this is a slow version. If you look this up, it's a pretty good version of this, and this is probably the one. You know, when somebody tells me to learn a tune, I don't necessarily know which one they want. Down by the Sally Gardens, Mara O'Connell. Look that one up. It's a good one. And let's go look up Down by the Sally Gardens. Sometimes I type wiki. Down by the Sally Gardens. There's also an Irish reel called Sally Gardens, but I think that's different. So good. We have a little Wikipedia entry here. Down by the Sally Gardens is a poem by William Butler Yeats, published in the Wanderings of, I don't know how to say it, Ossian and Other Poems, 1889. Yeats indicated in a note that it was an attempt to reconstruct an old song from 3 lines imperfectly remembered by an old peasant woman in the village of Sligo, who often sings them to herself, Ballasdare. The old song may have been the ballad "The Rambling Boys of Pleasure," which contains the fun. So this is interesting. Here's the lyrics. Let's see, what did he do? You know, you always wonder how much of the song is old and how much is new. Down by the Sally Gardens, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Gardens with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as she leaves grow on the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree. And a field by the river, my love and I did stand, and on my leaning shoulder she laid her snow white hand. She bid me take life easy as the grass grows on the wires. But I was young and foolish, and now am full of tears. And then the musical setting, you know, there's people who put this to their own music. But this tune that you just heard, I'm going to see if I can just play this real quick. Because I've heard this, but I want to see what happens if I try it from memory here. And the version I just heard was in G. This is going to be in D. Yeah, I don't know the rest. So, what do I do next? Well, I can certainly always play it by ear, which I might do in a minute. But before we do that, I want to go back online and just look at thesession.org. This is a great website to go to when you're looking for Irish stuff. Click on tunes. And I'm going to put Down by the Sally Gardens. Let's see what comes up here. Now, they've got it listed as a reel. Okay. That's the same tune. Yeah. So right now I'm sight singing. And this is something I kind of can do. Kind of. See if I can add a little of me in here. In high school, I remember the choir director telling us the value of being able to look at a piece of music and then try to sing it. Let me find the right camera here. That's not it. So many dulcimers. That's not it. There it is. Okay. So that's a little too low or high for me, so I'm going to sing it in G. There's the piano. Ya da da ba da 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 ya da da ya da da ba da ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da da. Here's the part I couldn't do. Ya da ya da da ba da ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da ya da 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 ya da ya da. What's cool about the session? Well, I got to tell you a little more about what I'm doing there. So I want you to see how I'm singing. You might find this interesting. So each one of these notes, I assign a number, kind of. So if I'm going to do this in the key of D, which is what this is written in, I'm going to think of this as a 1, 2, 3. This is a 2, 1, 2, and so on. And another system instead of numbers is solfege: do, re, mi, fa, so. So it could be do, re, mi, do, mi, re. Did I messing that up? I think I did. Do, re, mi, do, re, mi, so, la, do, so, la, so, mi, re, do, that kind of thing. I was taught with numbers. That's why I can't do the do, re, mi very well. It's so valuable. You know, if you're going to learn to read music, start by learning how to sing. And I don't sound good, you know, but it gives you an idea what's going on. Before I go further, I want to see what else is here. They'll give you different settings of it. Looks very similar. Yeah. It's got some phrasing put in there, maybe some grace notes. Third version. Now this one's closer to the Mara O'Connell video, I think. This one, you know, I really like this first one because it's different, but this one's more like the video. So since I'm preparing to do this with people, I'm going to probably go for the one that I've heard more. Very similar one there. Now this has got lyrics. It was down by the Sally Gardens, my love and I did meet. Cool. Let's see. Sometimes down here in the notes, people will have information. Let's see. So here's somebody saying, if this isn't a reel, why are we calling it a reel? Somebody says, unfortunately, because airs and song tunes can take a large variety of time signatures and possibly not at all. If the air is rather free in form, they cannot be defined by a single time signature, which apparently is required by the way in which this database is organized. So the only way in which you can submit a slow air or song tune is to define it as a reel or a waltz or whatever. So that's interesting. So maybe this is in here as a tune. And I know in the Irish music, sometimes they'll elongate certain sections or truncate to match different verses. Sometimes they argue down here. They're telling what books you can find it in. Lyrics, you might find alternate lyrics. Here's Gaelic. So that's pretty cool. So I'll tell you what. This one here with the lyrics. Let me double check. Yeah, I think this is safe. I think that's the one I want to do it on. And I'm going to just sight read now on the Dulcimer and actually play it in D. We might have time to do a second tune here. I'm going to try to put in some of those chord symbols. I want to do that line again. Yeah, that's a good tune. That's a good tune. So, that'd be a good idea to go ahead and put something down here. I'm going to look over at the chat here and see what's going on. Hey, if you guys got questions about this, just ask me about it. I'm going to go ahead and put this thing into, let's see, where is it? Oh, yeah. Put it in the table edit real quick. So it's pretty straight ahead. You know, some of these weeks I've worked on, like we were recently working on Moon Dance by, what's his name? Shoot, why can't I remember that name? Van Morrison. You know, a little trickier, something a little different going on. This is going to be in 4/4 in the key of D major. And notice I played it pretty freely. I wasn't in a hurry to march through it. And I was also able to improvise it a little bit. And, you know, I've been in jams where this has been played. It's just, I've, you know, never really learned it. But I hear I'm just going to go, I'm going to sing in a different key, but I'm entering it into the key of D. And if you'll notice, I'm just moving my cursor around on the screen and I'm putting it in table edit this way. Yum, ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Yum, ya-da-da, ya-da-da, ya-da. Now what I do is I put my left hand on the keypad. It looks like a calculator on your keyboard. And then my left hand goes on the arrow keys. So I use the arrow keys to move this blue box around. And then I just put the music in that way. And I lost it. Where is it? Let's see. There we go. These notes are too high. I'm going to move them down an octave. Standard. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put a rest in here. And then second line. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da. The rest. Table edit knows what kind of note you're putting in according to where this blue box is. If you look at the top, there's a ruler. And it guesses what the note value should be based on where you're at under that ruler. Very, very handy. So here's a pickup note into the third line. Another rest. There we go. Now that's pretty fast, and I got to tell you, it's taken me years to be able to do that fast. So don't let that discourage you. I want to delete those measures. Okay. I'm going to see if I can get everything on the screen. There it is. And the chords are fairly obvious to me, but maybe if I go ahead and do this, I give you guys a copy. I'm going to put a D chord here. And Table Edit just made a change. Table Edit 3.0 came out. Now you got to click on Format, right click, click Format, and then it'll say Anchor above Notation, hit Apply. And now hopefully the next chords I do will appear in the proper place. So this is an A chord. Up, it didn't. You know, they totally rewrote the file format for Table Edit, so we're all going to have to be patient as we hammer out the bugs. And then we've got I messed up. This little A should go right here. And then for this chord, we got a G. Now this is kind of laborious and tedious the way I'm entering it, but I'm going to do some copy and paste now that I've got all the main chords in. We've just got a B minor. It's the only, let's see, other one we didn't do. There we go. And now I'm just going to copy a D everywhere a D goes. Now right down here we've got a B minor. Now, this tune's really stuck in my head. Again, I have heard this over the years, but there's another reason it's sticking in my head better. It's because of this experiment I did. Oh, did I screw it up? Where I sang along with 116 Irish tunes for 3 months and didn't allow myself to play them. And I promise you, after I did that, it was like my brain changed, and now Irish tunes stick in my head. And then we got let's see. Now I'm copy and pasting, so I have to do that tedious entry. Let's see. And then right here's another D. And the last line, it's kind of repetitive, but I think it's beautiful. Now I got some A's to put in. Yeah, right here. We got an A here. Sometimes it's just easier to do it the tedious way. Third line. There's an A there. D. Yeah. Here we go. And then I've got to put the G's in and we're done. Okay. And then we got one here. There we go. Now check this out. If you're not into table edit, you won't really need to know this, but I can't put other things on top of these text anchors. Those little triangles are that's what's holding the information or whatever for these chord symbols. If I try to put tab numbers on top of those, it'll delete them. So you have to make each measure huge, and I'm going to cut and then paste everything 1/64th note to the right. Boom. And it works fine. Now I can go back here and add chords for you guys. Let's see. I want to keep it simple. Same thing. Now look here. I could put a 101 there, and I will sometimes, but I've gotten tired of the 101. So sometimes I just do 2 strings there, middle and melody, O and 1. And it's a nice contrast, I think. Yeah. Now for this, I'll do a 5/5/7. And I'll go ahead and do something kind of simple, just 2 strings. That's an A there, so I'll just do the open middle. One more thing, and I wouldn't do this if it was just me. I go through here, the melody all happens to be on the melody string. So if I select the whole song, bass and middle string only, and hit D, it hides. Watch the standard notation. Boom. It hides all the harmony notes, the chord notes, leaving just the melody. I'm going to slap a title on it. Down by the Sally Gardens. Now, on that Mara O'Connell recording was in G because it probably fits her voice better in G. And then in table edit, first of all, I should go back and hit save because sometimes it glitches out. You don't want that to happen. Down by the Sally Gardens. All right, so print previews where you kind of make everything look better. I like to see if I can fit everything into one page without it being crowded, too crowded. Especially when you're teaching, it's better to use less paper. But if that makes it harder for people to learn, then I always go for 2 pages. So let me just scan this one. Let's see. That looks pretty good. So I hit print on the Mac, and you go down to the lower left, save as a PDF. I'll save this on the desktop. And I'm going to show you real quick, and I'm going to make this available to you right now. Of course, what if there's a mistake? Let's scan it. The more you can do in your head, the better. I think. Of course, after this, I may never do it in my head again. Measure 12 is probably the hardest one if I was teaching this. You'd have to really give some tips and maybe even leave out a note. All right, that all looks good. So watch this. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to find this on the session.org. Look for Down by the Sally Gardens as far as that version. But I'm going to go ahead and go to my website, hit escape. You want to hack my site, that's how you get in. I'm going to go here to pages, And I'm going to add one to the main menu. And this is going to be a link. Let's see, that won't work. I just want to put a PDF in here. Yeah, I'll probably have to do that. All right. Give a blank page. I think that's what I got to do. Gallery album. Yep. And I'm going to call this one Down by the Sally Gardens. So that's how I create a menu item. I'm going to drag this down at the very bottom so you can find the darn thing. And then in this page down by the Sally Gardens, I'm going to put click here to download Down by the Sally Gardens. Go. And then I highlight the word here. Click a link. I'm giving you a little insider clue here about what's going on. I can link to a file, and I'm going to upload. And here is Down by the Sally Gardens, the PDF. And I should be able to say save. And now, if you go there, and yeah, you're right about a repeat. I'm going to read your comments after I get this up there. So let's just see if this works. So if you go to stevenseifert.com, I have no idea what that is. Click Down by the Sally Gardens. It says click here to download. Up, it didn't work. Let me go back and fix it. This is the life of a dulcimer player, a professional dulcimer player, whatever that means. I think the file's there. I just need to go grab it. Down by the Sally Gardens, save. Maybe I didn't click save. Save. It's not showing up. Is that true? It's another thing about computers. Sometimes when somebody says, well, can you show us how to do what you're doing? It's like, well, there's a lot to it. I wonder why it's not letting me link there. File, Down by the Sally Gardens. Okay. Save it. Apply. I had to hit apply. See, that kind of stuff gets you. You know what I'm saying? All right, now, there it is. Now when you click here, it opens up Down by the Sally Gardens. Cool. So let's see what some of these comments are about. Dale says, thanks for helping me learn to play. You're welcome. Pauline says, hello from Juliet. Do you mean Mount Juliet, which is northeast of Nashville? Dale says, what composition software are you using? This is Table Edit. Table. I'll just type it in the chat here. Tabledit. Tabladit. It's French. Guy's great. If there's anything buggy about it, he'll fix it if we ask him. He's really fantastic. But he's added lots of dulcimer friendly features. Karen says, thanks for the Table Edit overview. I have the software from a year or so ago, but need to start using. Perhaps that's one of your upcoming classes. I'm actually teaching that. Either it's Steve Fest. Make sure you don't miss Steve Fest coming up. It's this next weekend, not this one, but the next one. Go to stevenseifert.com, look for Steve Fest. There's 10 different classes you can sign up for. They're $10 a piece. If you're a Mountain Dulcimer A to Z subscriber, you get 20% off. I'll show you guys this. I think this is good to know. My older subscription service is called dulcimerschool.com. I still got a lot of good content on there, and I'm friends with everybody on there. You do not have to be a member. You do not have to log in. Just go to the search, type in table edit. And down here it says classes. If you click that, it's a little dated, but it's still relevant. There's 6.5 hours of instruction here for free. You do not have to join Dulcimer School to get that instruction. So that might help you, Karen. Green Mile says if Bob Ross could have painted music, it might have looked like this. I like that. I used to watch him a lot. Dawn says you could put a repeat on the first part, and that is true. Absolutely true with this one. Yeah. Sometimes I leave the repeats off. If this tune could actually be a really nice tune for maybe advanced beginners or intermediates, lower intermediates. And sometimes with those guys, when you put the repeat signs in, they mess it up. It depends, but sometimes I leave them out if it just means they're more likely to not mess it up. So there's something to that. Thanks, Kate, for joining us. Thank you, Jesse. Good idea there. There you go. So now I got it in my head. Let me see if I can play the darn thing. Again, I'm going to do something a little different this time, a little finger picking. Yeah, that's a good tune. I've heard it, you know. A lot of times you'll hear that in a jam. They'll play it a couple times and then it's gone. So let me tell you about my friend Jan Pulsford. I met her a good number of years back. She played keyboards for the Thompson Twins in the 80s. And she ended up producing at least one album for Cyndi Lauper, if not more. And you know, Cyndi Lauper plays Dulcimer. So every once in a while, Jan just gets involved with a few creative people and does something interesting. So she said she's got a saxophone player who's very well known that she might do a project with of Irish music, a whole album. So she said, do you have a version of Down by the Sally Gardens? Well, now I do. So thank you guys for getting me there. Do you guys have any questions about any of this stuff? I'll tell you the one thing, if I was teaching this in a class, let me tell you two things. This part where the A chord comes, and we usually, where am I? There I am. Usually we do an A chord, 101. But in this case, I did open, middle, one on the melody. Look what my right hand's doing. As I go to take my index finger to brush across the middle in the melody, watch what my middle finger does. It touches the bass, and then the index finger brushes the middle and melody. Why am I touching the bass with the middle finger? It's to keep the darn thing quiet. I want that bass string to be quiet just for a little bit. And another thing I want to show you, like when I do this 4, 6.5, I really want to do this. Notice how I'm pushing and pulling the strings. But listen to that scraping sound. I've got to take some really fine sandpaper and I don't buffing compound. I don't know. I'm not a woodworker, but I know that if I clean these frets up more, they won't make that sound because I love doing that kind of stuff. Let me read the rest of these comments and then we'll wrap this up. Let's see. Yeah, Karen, and you'll notice I added an F sharp minor at one point. Let me try again. Right there, that's 6.5, 5, 4. So there you go. Jamie says David Schnoffer was Cindy's teacher too. You couldn't have a better. That's true. And I'll tell you, she did learn from David, but she's pretty darn smart on her own. I mean, she'd already had a dulcimer life, you know, of her own, which is pretty cool. I met a guy in Charlotte once. He was the backstage director at the Charlotte Symphony Hall there downtown. And he told me he used to be her tech. So he would get guitars and keyboards but mainly dulcimer. He said he spent a lot of time keeping her dulcimer going. I don't know if that's the early 2000s or what. So how cool to meet that guy, you know? And then I lost track of him. I couldn't find him anywhere. Years later, I'm talking to Dan Landrum saying, I wish I could find this guy. And this is crazy because that was Charlotte, right? I kept driving by this house. It was 3 houses down in Laverne, Tennessee, near Nashville, where I was living. And I could always see somebody in there working, and I saw what looked like guitar amps and stuff. So I go by one day because they always had the garage open. And I just said, hey, my name's Steven Seifert. I'm one of your neighbors. I noticed you got music stuff. I'm a musician. And he came and he was real friendly. And I said, I think we've met. He said, I think we have. It was that guy. It was that guy. And I got his phone number and I got his email and his name. And I told him we'd do an article. And then I put it off and he moved and I lost the paper. And now I still don't know who the guy is. How crazy is all that? So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I will be back next week teaching myself tunes. And please go to stevensiever.com. Check out Steve Fest, a whole bunch of hour and 15-minute workshops. You can just take one or all of them, whatever you like. There's different levels, different topics. I'm also doing a theory course. It's a 4-week course, 2 hours once a week. Check that out. I'm also doing a 4-day intensive. So if you really want to get wild, you could take the first 3 or the last 3 days or all 4. It's an all levels class. Make sure you read about it. I've got mountaindulcimer.com. Subscribe. There's all kinds of stuff in there, and I'm going to be dumping a tremendous amount of material in there very soon. I've already added a bunch of stuff. And Quarantune's coming along. I'm getting that ready, and we'll be announcing registration on Sunday, I believe. I'm not sure if that's official. Also, Redwood Dulcimer Day coming up. I'll be doing that online, and I'll be doing the North Georgia NGFDA Festival online. Thanks, guys, very much. Have a good week. Adios.